Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Divine. If you're new here, you are welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to draft pattern and also to sew this nice skirt here. So if this is something you are interested in, please keep on watching, and while at it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like it, share if you want to, and if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. So I have my brown paper here which I'm going to be drafting on. I have the starting line at the top here and it's measured 2 inches, and then I have this line by the side which is also measured 2 inches. So to take my measurements, I'm going to be placing 1.5 on my starting line, and why I'm using 1.5 is because I'm going to be attaching a band to this skirt, and that band is going to measure 1.5. So I'm taking my measurements from 1.5 on the starting line. So from there I'll go down by 9 inches, which is measurement from my waist to my hip line. After that, I'll go down by 11 inches, which is from my waist to my crotch line. Then I will add 3 inches to it, making it 14 inches for my thigh. And then the length of this this skirt is going to be 17 inches, so I marked that as well. So now I'm just going to extend the lines and just use my ruler to connect everything together. So here I have my hip line here, and after that here I have my crotch line, this is my thigh line, and this is the length of these skirts. Now on my hip line here, I'm going to divide my round hip measurements by 4. My round hip measurements by 4 is 10.5 inches. So I'm going to mark 10.5 there. And then I'm going to mark the same thing on my crotch line. I'm going to mark the same 10.5 inches, that is my hip line divided by 4. I'm also going to mark it on my crotch line and on my starting line. I'm sorry if you can see CL, it's actually supposed to be CR, not CL, so please bear with me. So after marking the 10.5 inches from my starting line to my crotch line, I just drew a straight line to connect all of them together. Then on my crotch line, I'm going to be extending the line by 3 inches. On my thigh, I'm going to divide my round thigh measurement by 2. This time around, it's divided by 2 and not by 4. So what I have, I got 12.5 inches, but I added half inch for ease, making it 13 inches. So I'm just going to mark like 1.5 here, and this is because I want to draw the crotch, as you can see, like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to connect the lines from the crotch line to the thigh line. But before that, I'm going to take the same 13 inches that I have on my thigh line. I'm going to mark same 13 inches on the length of this skirts, and then I'll connect from my crotch line to my thigh line with a very slight curve, and then connect with a straight line from my thigh line to the length of the skirts. Now after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to insert my dart, and my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches, divided by 2 is 4. Then I'm going to add extra half inch, making it 4.5 inches. So I'm going to mark 4.5 inches like so, and then on both sides of the 4.5 inches, I'm going to mark half inch on both sides. Then I will come down by 4 inches, and then draw a straight line, and then connect the both half inches to the 4 inches I came down by. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to take my waist measurement. So I'm going to place my tape from here, and my round waist is 32 divided by 4 is 8 inches. So I'm going to mark the 8 inches there, and then I'm going to add this 1 inch from the dart. I'm going to replace it because when we take out the dart, when we take in the dart, you are going to be short of 1 inch. So I replace that 1 inch, and now I'm going to connect from there to my hip line. You can use maybe a straight line to get a better curve. This that I did here is not very okay. I later adjusted it, but you can use a ruler to connect it properly to the hip line. Then after that, on top here as you can see, I marked 1 inch and then connected it straight, and then I made it to align with the darts. After that, I went ahead of camera and I added half inch at the top, at the both sides. Then at the bottom I added 1.5 inches for hemming. So now I'm just going to use my scissors and cut it. So now we are going to cut for the back. As you can see, I already drafted the basic things I drafted for the front. This is how the front was initially. I have the hip line, the crotch line, the thigh line, the length, and also how the basic way the front part is or was. So now on the crotch line, I'm going to extend it again by 1.5 inches on the crotch line, and from that 1.5 I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and then at the top here I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches as well. And after that I'm going to connect it the lines, the dots together. So this is just to be able to accommodate the bum. So I'm going to connect it like this, and this is going to be the crotch for the back. Now on there I'm going to go up. I marked 1.5 inches at the top, and then I'm going to take my waist measurements. I'm going to retake my waist measurement. So from here, from this our new line here, first of all I'm going to mark my dart just like I did for the front. I measured 4.5 inches, but then for the back I'm going to come down by 5 inches, and then I'm going to draw a straight line. And then I'm going to mark half inch on both sides of the 4.5 inches, and then connect it in form of V shape to the 5 inches line. So after that I'll go ahead and retake my waist measurement. So I'm going to place my tape on the new on the new line, and I'm going to divide my waist measurement by 2, which is by 4 rather, my round waist measurement by 4, which is 8 inches, and then I'm going to replace the 1 inch I took out for that, and then I'm just going to connect it to the hip line. So here I'm going to use my ruler to just connect it to the hip line like this. So remember the 1 inch we went up by at the side front. I'm going to replace that 1 inch at the side back as well. So I just marked that 1 inch, and I'm going to connect it to the 1.5 inches we marked at the top of the center back. So this is what it's going to look like. The line is a little bit slanted, and that is how it should be. So the next thing I'm going to do is to curve in this line here. Don't make it too curved, just a little bit to connect it back to the length. And this is how I am going to mark it. And that is it for the back. I'm going to go ahead also to add 1/2 inch at the top, at the sides, and then at the bottom I added 1.5 inches as well. So this is what it is looking like. So this is the pattern for the back piece. And now I'll just go ahead and cut. So after that, this is both the front and the back. So this is the front pattern, and this is the back pattern of our skirts. So the next thing, I already placed it down on my fabric and I cut it. So I cut it into two, like I folded my fabric into two, place the pattern on top and cut. That way we have two pieces for both the front and the back each. So what I'm going to do is to join the crotch line like so, and I'm also going to join the crotch line for the back as well with 1/2 inch. Remember the 1/2 inch allowance we left, I'm going to join them by 1/2 inch on the crotch line. Then I'm going to add the darts as well. So this is the front piece. I have, joined the crotch line, joined the crotch, and I also added the darts. And then for the back piece, I also did the same thing. I joined the crotch and added the darts on both sides as well. Now it is time to cut the overlap at the front of the skirt. So for the pattern paper, I folded in the dart on the pattern. I folded it in and pinned it because the dart is going to be sewn on the main fabric, and then I placed it on a piece of paper, on a fabric, and I cut exactly it by the sides, as you can see, exactly the shape, and at the top as well I cut it exactly how it is. Now on the top here I added 7.5 inches, and on the bottom here I added 3 inches to it, and this is just so I can have a slant effect on it. And then I came down by 2 inches at the bottom, just so that the overlap can be a little longer than the main shorts. So the line here, as you can see, is slanted. I already cut this out, so I'm just showing you how you can get the overlap for this skirt. So after that, I connected from that 2 inches to this place. You can see that the bottom as well is slanted also. So I'm just showing you how I slanted it from here to the 2 inches line I came down by at this at that side. And the line here, you also have to make sure that the top is cut out the same way the main piece is, so that when you're attaching the overlap to the main shorts, it's easier to attach properly. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hem the bottom by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to fold it in by half an inch and fold it again by 1 inch, making it 1.5 inches. And I'll go ahead and sew it. And I will also sew the sides, hem the side as well by 1.5 inches. After doing that, this is what it looks like. You can go ahead and press this with a pressing iron. Now it's time for me to place it on my front piece of the skirt. So I'm going to place it like this. And here the wrong side of the overlap is facing the right side of the front piece of this skirt. So I'll place it like this, and I'm gonna sew it, and when I get to like 1.5 or 2 inches before before the overlap, I'm going to stop there. So after that, I also sew the top part, as you can see. Now the next thing I'm going to do, and I joined the overlap to the main skirt with just less than half an inch, just a little, just less than half an inch. So I'm going to join the cross line of the front piece and the back piece like this. I'll go ahead and sew it all along. And after that, this is what it looks like. I'm going to turn it over. I know this looks confusing, but please just pay attention to what I am doing. And if you are confused, you can watch this video over again just to be clear, and also ask questions in the comment section if you have any questions, anything you are confused about. So I just turned this to the wrong side, and I'm going to join the sides. So I'm going to make sure that the overlap is not disturbing, and I'm going to place it, and I'm going to sew it by half an inch. And when I get to the side that has an overlap, when I get to like 2 inch before the end, I'm going to stop. And then this side that doesn't have the overlap on it, I'm just going to join it by half an inch all the way down. So you can see this is the side that has overlap, and I have the space there, and this is the side that doesn't have the overlap. So the back side, I loosened it by 7 inches, because I'm going to be inserting my zip there. So I just loosened it up by 7 inches, and this is what the right side is looking like right now. So now it's time to cut out the band for this skirt. So I'm going to measure the waistline all around. So after measuring, I got 34 inches, but I just made the length of the band to be 36 inches, and the width of this band is 2.5 inches. So I'm going to take the two pieces, both measure 36 and 2.5. I'm going to fold them into two, and I'm going to notch the midpoint on both sides. After that, I'll take this other piece, fold it into two as well, and notch the midpoint as well. So now I want to measure where I want the rope to be, the rope, because I want it to have a wrap effect. The rope I tied on it at the beginning of this video, I'm going to measure where I want it to be placed. So I'm going to measure from that midpoint to this place, which is 7 inches. So 7 inches is where I want it to be placed. So I'm going to take my band, and I'm going to also mark from the midpoint of the band to 7 inches line, and I'm going to just use my chalk to indicate that is where I'm going to be placing it. So now I cut out and I sewed this belt like piece, so that I'm going to place it on it like this. and I will just pin it. So this is where the belt kind of like a belt holder. This is what I'm going to be passing the rope through. So after that, I'm going to place the other piece on it, midpoint, touching midpoint, and then I'll go ahead and sew it at the top. So after sewing it at the top, you can see how it looks. I joined it by 1/2 inch. You can see the belt holder kind of thing that we have here. So also went ahead to top stitch it, and now it's time to attach it to the main piece. So I'm going to take the notch part, fold it into two, and be sure that this belt like part is by the side where you want it to be placed. So I'm going to take the notch part of the band, I'm going to place it on the notched part of the main fabric like this. And then when I'm sewing, I'm going to insert this other piece of the belt like something. I'm going to put it inside and just sew it all along. And this is what the band is looking like right now, guys. This is like the end of this video. I went ahead to attach my zipper. I also went ahead to hem the bottom of the pants, and that is just basically it on how to make a skirt. Very easy, very simple, and very cute. And this is the rope that I have, so I'm just going to insert it like this. If you want, this is not necessary. If you don't want to have this effect, it's also cool. So this is the end of this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.